Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? We got some very exciting and interesting news regarding the S1R II, which I talked about earlier. In that previous video, I was talking about some of the signs that were showing that it was sort of making me worried. One of them being the fact that it was looking to be pretty much the same as the Leica SL3. But now, as more rumors and more specs are coming out, this is not to be the case at all. It's not even sharing the same sensor. It's actually using a whole new different sensor. So let's not waste any time and let's sort of dive right into it. So we've got some more rumored, but this time we've got some rumored specs and sort of a kind of a breakdown. The S1R II is expected to be announced next week on the 25th. I will actually be going live with Ordinary Filmmaker, as we will cover it early in the morning, like 7 a.m. in the morning. So if you happen to be up at that time, come join us over at Ordinary Filmmakers channel, and we're going to be talking all about it. But I know you guys are coming here for the rumored specs, so let's not waste this. So here's the list of some of the specs that we're now getting. I'm reading it off the phone. So this is going to be a new 44 megapixel, what they're calling a high speed sensor. Um, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming it's saying it's a fast sensor, and we can from all accounts, based on the new specs, it looks like it's definitely going to be the readout's going to be at least faster than the previous generation, which is, I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that. And you'll see what the other specs going for it. So it's going to do 40 frames per second with an electronic shutter and 10 frames per second in mechanical shutter. It's going to have 8 stops of image stabilization. Panasonic is like leaders with image stabilization, so I expect it to be, top tier. Uh, there's going to be a pixel shift shooting option where you can shoot 176 megapixels. For all you people that really want to shoot those super high resolutions options, and be able to do this handheld due to Panasonic stabilizations, which is, I think, a pretty awesome thing to have. Um, there's a 1.5 pre-capture recording. So if you're recording video, there'll be 1.5 seconds before you actually hit the record button that's going to be previously recording. But here comes the video specs. It's going to shoot 8K up to 30 frames a second. And here's one of the ones that I've been really hoping from Lumix, and it looks like it's the case. There's going to be 4K up to 120 frames a second with no crop. Now, it doesn't say if how that 4K 120 without crop is going to be handled. Is it going to be line skipping or pixel binning, or will it be oversampling? Given the fact that the resolution caps off at 30 frames a second, I'm not necessarily sure if it will do that, at least uh, without a crop. But again, we don't know. So we'll see when the day comes. You will be able to shoot 8.1K open gate. However, that is not coming at launch. That will be coming later on in a future firmware update. We are going to be getting 6K ProRes RAW HQ internal recording. So we're going to get the 2 flavors of ProRes RAW, which is ProRes RAW HQ and ProRes RAW 422. And we'll also be able to simultaneously proxy record. So that's really cool. You'll also be able to record externally to SSDs, which, look, if you guys do that, that's great. But if y'all been to this channel for a while, y'all know I think recording to SSDs is a huge mistake, and I'm staunchly against it. There's too many problems with that sort of workflow, especially when you are working with tens of thousands of dollars of clients' money. So, but this is not the video for that. Let's continue on. There's going to be frame marker guides for the 239 to 1, 235 to 1, 200 to 1, 285 to 1, and 16 by 9. You also get 4x3, 5x4, 1x1, 4x5, and 9x16 for those social media custom options. And then after a future firmware update, there's going to be external RAW recording for both Atomos and Blackmagic, and there will also be 32-bit float internal recording audio, which is If I had to take a guess, you would have to buy that external audio source that will allow you to do that 32-bit float recording. This is similar to how it is on the GH7. Doesn't say anything about actually being able to shoot ProRes internally, which I would be shocked that it doesn't, but it's an interesting choice. And also, it doesn't necessarily say that the 6K is going to be full frame. I hope it is, but given the fact that 6K would be the resolution for Super 35, just trying to like not try to hype this up. I'm just trying to give the facts. It doesn't say if the ProRes RAW is going to be full horizontal readout or not. It's going to have the multi-angle screen similar to like the A9 III and the A1 II, so that multi-angular. Similar to how now it doesn't say if it's gonna be like the GH7 or if it's going to be like what the S1H or even what the Sony, A7R V put out, where it's like a true, like, flip it anywhere, flip it out. It doesn't specifically say that, but I'm hoping it's more so towards the S1H style, where it's flip up, flip down, and you can flip it any way you want. It's going to be weather sealed and ventilated, and it's also gonna be the body size of just roughly the same as the S5 II, but a little bit thicker. So we'll see again when the camera actually comes out. But this is great because I felt the older generations with the S1H and the S1 they were a little bit bigger than what I prefer, but now that we got this, it's going to be roughly around the same size as the S5 II. There's going to be a red record button in front of the camera on the corner of the near mount. There's going to be a tally lights, and the price right now is it says it's going to be around $3,500. So just under the price of something like a Sony FX3 and almost $1,000 less than something like the Canon EOS R5 II. Last comments, I'll just say this was a lot more than what I expected, and given the fact that it can do 4K 120 frames a second, does tell us that the readout speed is definitely better. But again, we don't know how it is sampling that 4K 120. We'll just have to wait until reviewers actually come out and review it. I know Jordan from Petapixels, he's going to be all over, so I would definitely keep out sort of his thoughts and perspectives on it. Um, Overall, I'm really interested and really intrigued. These new recording options does give us the suspicion that there's going to be a change of media, which means they're going to go to CF Express Type B, which is what I'm thankful. Now, we don't know if it's going to be dual. I really hope it's dual, especially given the fact that this is a $3,500, supposedly a $3,500 camera. If it doesn't have dual CF Express Type B cards, I will be kind of disappointed in that, just to be honest, because with a camera priced that much, you should be able to relay record your options. Having ProRes RAW is going to be interesting. However, me being a DaVinci Resolve user, it kind of throws me out of the loop because ProRes RAW just doesn't work natively, and I am not interested in going into a workflow. But, I really hope that there is some normal ProRes options. I think that would be a really great thing to see here. I hope it, I expect it. Obviously, we're gonna see the new face detection autofocus system in it, that's expected. The IBIS control that Panasonic is known for, that's going to be expected, especially with that. This looks to be a really solid, well thought out camera. Um the only thing for me is that, for me personally, that I've seen here is that, I still hope that the open gate is 10-bit 422, not just 10-bit 420, but we shall see. We shall see if they will be able to do that. But I would love to know what you guys think. What do you think of these specs? And hopefully, I see you guys again over at Ordinary Filmmakers. If you guys are enjoying this content, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time. Take care, everyone.